Good evening, everyone. This is North here, obviously. Here on my channel, if you're watching this. How you doing? I hope everybody's well. It's a Friday. Taking a weekend off, not going to work. It's Friday, December the 4th, 2020. And we had a day of, it was snow mixed with rain. It was hovering right around the freezing mark, and yeah, it was snaining here today. First of all, before we get into the video, what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank everyone that watched my last video, and I'd especially like to thank all of you guys that made those heartfelt comments in the comment section down below. They're very, very much appreciated, so thank you for that. Okay, so I've been going on a lot of live streams lately. Lot of live streams. And you guys are, you people that do live streams and making videos. There's tons and tons of great videos out and live streams in the last week especially, and last couple of weeks. So I want to thank you guys for doing that. Now, some of these live streams, it'll be a specific topic of discussion, or there'll be like an open Q&A or just like a freestyle chat or whatever. But there's been some really good ones out there in the last little while, and I can't remember exactly whose live stream I was on a few days ago. It was 2 or 3 days ago, I guess, and regardless of whether the live stream has a specific topic or subject matter, topic of discussion, if there is, we go ahead and do that, and it gets talked about, and the information is passed back and forth, and the questions are asked, and knowledge is shared and gained, and it's a wonderful thing. And there's always the chat happening on over there, or is it over there? I don't know. I haven't figured out which way is which yet. But there's always the chat going on down on the side, right? Which is amazing, because regardless of what the host is talking about, and that information being transferred, I'm not minimizing that at all. I'm sort of adding a bonus to it. It's a bonus that somebody took their time to share their time to do a live stream, but it's a double bonus with the chat beside, because not only is there being information transferred and knowledge being transferred in the live stream itself, but that chat on the side there's multiple conversations going on between multiple people, and tons of knowledge being passed back and forth, all kinds of learning and education and sharing, and there excuse me, there's just information flying everywhere, which is I think it's awesome. It's a great way for people to share their knowledge and to help teach others and learn from others. So I think that's awesome. But what tends to happen is these live streams and these chats tend to evolve if there's a subject matter, which is cool. You get through your subject matter, and then move on for your specific duration, or if it's just a sort of like a free ride where you're going to let it go on as long as you'd like, until it sort of fizzles out, or you got to have a bathroom break or whatever it is. But so the chats have a way of evolving, and so a couple of days ago, one of the live streams evolved into, somebody started talking about bartering, which is cool. Barter comes up an awful lot in the live streams and in the chats and stuff like that, and myself, I love bartering. I think it's cool, and I think it's great, and a lot of people, some people don't know how to barter, and they're They're thinking, okay, I'm gonna learn that skill. I'm gonna learn how to barter, and when the balloon goes up, man, I'm gonna be ready, and we're all gonna barter, and we're all gonna be, like live happily ever after or whatever, right? Cool. But why would you wait? Why? Why would you wait on bartering? Like I said, I barter all the time, and I barter for items like specialty items, things that you might not necessarily be able to find in the store, like say dandelion jelly, or maple syrup right from the producer, or honey right from the producer, or organic free range eggs right from the producer. You know, I go out and I see my buddy Dan from time to time, and if I have just made some a fresh round of pea meal bacon, for example, I'll shoot him a text and I'll say, hey Dan, would you guys like a roast of pea meal? He'd be like, sure, and then okay, I'll run over there on a Saturday or a Sunday when I got some time, and it's nicely sealed, nicely vacuum sealed, and I'll take it over there for them without any real expectation of leaving with anything, or we haven't negotiated sort of a trade for an item. However, more times than not, I'll end up with, leaving with something that I hadn't, that hadn't really been negotiated, right? Like a quart of fresh honey or whatever it might be, right? Now, you guys that don't know what pea meal bacon is, it's basically a brined and pickled pork loin. It's like a boneless pork chop, or roast. You brine that, and then you roll it in something sticky like honey or maple syrup or mustard, and then you roll it in cornmeal. You slice it really thin and fry it in a pan. You serve it like bacon with your bacon and eggs. Or you can put it on a rotisserie, or smoke an entire roast of it, cut it as thick as you want it, and eat it like a pork chop or whatever. But that's what your pea meal is. So we've got bartering already going on. Don't wait, guys. I love it because there's no money changes hands, and one person really gives an honest value to the other person for what they think the items that they're swapping is worth. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of honesty that takes place there. It doesn't tend to be a sort of a shrewd type of deal or negotiation. It's more genuine. But bartering, it happens all the time. Don't wait to do it. Go get your bartering on. Now we're talking here about bartering item for item. Okay. Now when I was in this chat the other day and we were talking about bartering, it was brought up that you don't just have to barter item for an item. You can barter an item, like I could bring somebody some, a bucket full of smoked pork hocks. And I might trade them their skills or labor for that, right? You can trade an item for somebody's skills that they have. If they're a carpenter or something like that, and you want your deck built, and you've got all the materials, but you're not sure how to do it, maybe you say to your carpenter, hey, well, I can supply you with your winter's worth of smoked meat for your efforts, kind of deal, right? So you can trade items for knowledge and labor type deal, right? Or, you can trade labor for labor. Hey, come give me a hand, smoothing out the gravel in my driveway, and I'll give you a hand taking the limbs down off of the trees around your house. Something like that. Okay? So you can barter labor for labor. You can also barter knowledge for knowledge, right? Like if you've got a skill, say you're a fantastic canner, and maybe you put on a classroom, or maybe a one-on-one with somebody, show them how to do the canning if they don't know about that. Say, for example, they're great at making pickles. they can show you that. So you can trade your knowledge for knowledge. Okay? But let me just, excuse me for just a second, guys. One thing I wanted to mention to you guys that sort of popped into my mind, and it popped into my mind for a reason. I wanted to bring up social bartering. Okay? Now, what I mean by social bartering is bartering your time for somebody else's time. Like, say, for example, maybe there's an older lady or an older gentleman that lives in your community. Maybe they don't, maybe they're by themselves and don't get a lot of visitors, whatever. Go have a visit with them. Sit down and talk to them. Spend a bit of time. And you might be surprised by your time investment, what you get back out of it. Just in knowledge or, some more understanding of history, possibly, whichever. But I guarantee you there will be a mutual transfer of betterment or wellness for having shared that bartered time. Okay, I want to give you an example of a social bartering that I actually partake in. Okay, it's a quick story. I'll try and go through it fast. All right, so there's this young lady that I know. She's about 15 years my junior, and before you guys go thinking or assuming anything, no, there's no romantic interest there. We just, I guess we met through mutual friends somehow, and we just kind of hit it off right away. But her being such a junior to me, the relationship that we have is sort of like uncle-niece type deal, right? So there's a good amount of trust there, a good amount of mutual respect, and one of the things that we do within our relationship is she'll come to me for advice. If she's got a problem, a social problem, or a problem with a relationship, or something like that maybe she's not necessarily comfortable talking with her folks about, or her circle of friends that are in her own age category, she'll come to me with that. And she'll shoot me a text and she'll say, "Oh, I'd like to talk to you." And it's like, "Oh, okay, well let's set up a date for that." And then we usually I invite her over and say, "Okay, come on over and we'll talk." But I say, well, while you're over here, like, we might as well cook something or whatever while we're talking. And she's a fair hand in the kitchen when it comes to desserts and all those kinds of things, for sure. So we end up making something really, really nice, like, pecan-covered truffles or something like that. So I'll say, "Okay, shoot me an ingredient list. I'll go ahead and get the stuff." She'll come over. We'll have a talk. Get things sorted out. And when we part ways, we both end up with some freaking lovely bonbons, right? So we don't see each other a lot, or we don't even talk a whole lot, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a year, maybe. But every now and again, I'll come home, twice a year maybe, and I'll find either an envelope or something like this on my porch. I found this the other day, and I can see it's addressed. The return address is from her, so she sent this one through the mail. But every now and again, if she's driving by, she'll just stop by when I'm not home and drop an envelope with some pictures and a letter or something into my mailbox, and we do nice things like that for the other. So I'm trading because I'm an older adult. I've got 15 more years experience at adulthood than she does. I swap her my experience and my insight, and every now and again she drops off gifts. So that's kind of what I mean by social bartering. You can barter your social skills for other people that may not have them, right? So anyways, that's what I wanted to bring to you guys today, the idea of bartering and the idea of bartering your social skills as well. You can think of all kinds of things. You can barter like items, knowledge, skills. Barter your social skills to help others out as well, okay? That's what I got for you guys. Hope everyone's well and safe. Has a fantastic weekend. This is going to be North. Out for now.